Video games can provide an opportunity for developers to create complex and compelling stories by implementing the art, music, and history of different cultures from around the world. However, implementation without representation is appropriation, and that's problematic. This speaker is going to show us how this affects Black culture and the Afrofuturism movement. Janae is an esports video game journalist with a ton of bylines, but an even bigger backlog of games to play. I sympathize. She is striving to make the gaming industry as inclusive and diverse as possible and believes in using art as activism. Get on board, because Afrofuturism is now. Well, it could be.
I'm Janae Benet, and I'm going to be talking to you about why Afrofuturism is now. Or, well, it could be. So let's get started. What is Afrofuturism? It's a movement in literature, music, art, video games, movies, etc., featuring futuristic or science fiction themes which incorporate elements of global Black history and culture, or better yet, making them centralized themes. So Afrofuturism can look like different things to different people. I'm very much into gaming and technology and esports. So for me, Afrofuturism is seeing Black women being hired in esports as hostess, analysis, interviewers, journalists, and things like that. Because if it's happening now, it'll happen in the future. So that is my little tidbit on what Afrofuturism is to me. So there are a couple of gaming trends that we've seen overtake the industry in the past couple of years where everyone has just become obsessed with like zombies, battle royales, and space. So we've seen like a lot of aliens, a lot of zombies, a lot of battle royales, like Tom Clancy's The Division never had zombies before, and now it has zombies. Again, also Metal Gear Solid now has a zombie element to it. And for Battle Royales, ever since like PUBG, we've seen things like, Fortnite, Apex, Spellbreak. Not that they're bad games or anything, they're just a lot more of Battle Royale games, as well as I feel like the medieval theme has never been given up or had a break from it. We always see a bunch of medieval themed games and a lot of reboots and a lot of mobile games coming to console. And we can see Black characters within these titles, but they don't detail the Black experience, which is very unique from other experiences. Games often use hip hop over their trailers to exude hype for a game, but you won't find the actual track like in the game, or not a lot of presence of Black people. Far Cry New Dawn, who actually did have two Black twins, Lou and Mickey, imposed Childish Gambino's "Crawl" over their trailer.
Money, look, no money, don't do it. Make them turn around and they lane like a UA, and I'm only looking back if I'm looking at her booty. At her booty. What's the rationale? They wanna smoke niggas when they black them out, so we acted out. Torch winners, I burn autumns. Dutch niggas so Kurt Vonnegut. L-Bond, I got a crush on her. I gotta wait in line for that. Ain't nobody got time for that.
Another example of that is Assassin's Creed using I Am God by Kanye for their live action film. And no, this wasn't in the movie. Assassin's Creed also didn't have too many Black people in the very beginning of the franchise. So, like, having, using Kanye for the live action film and not really having a lot of, like, black representation in it is just a bit frustrating.
Welcome to the Spanish Inquisition.
I am a god, even though I'm a man of God. My whole life in the hand of God. So y'all better quit playing with God.
We work in the dark to serve the light. We are assassins.
I am God.
We have a great example of Afrofuturism colliding with a former, I don't want to say Mortal Kombat, like pretty much always having Jax in there and then moving his lineage to Jackie Briggs. But 21 Savage did a collab and made a song just for MK11, and it's amazing to see elements of like a black culture being purposefully and intentionally created for things that we enjoy.
Brand new Mac 90 with the drum attack. You a shit talker, we got done for that. Tryna fist fight, boy, you done for that. Stupid. You gon' get a bullet in your lung for that. Stupid. Draco get the cooking like Luke Kane. F and N on me in the mood sign. Glock 19 in the blue flame. I was strapped when I slid inside your boo thing. 21 immortal, we'll never die. Loyal to my brothers, I never lie. Call me bird dog, cause I cheat and I'm fly. And I love winning, I'm upset if it's a tie. If you ever try to go against the game, we gon' drop it. Get you off the ground just to knock you to the floor. Yeah. Let's go blow for blow. Yeah. Let's go toe to toe. When it's time to battle, they don't never ever show. When it's time to battle, I'm the first one at the door. At the door. Yeah. Here we go. Get over here! It's gonna be next.
We're always going to see hip hop in video games like NBA 2K, Madden, and GTA because there are a lot of black people in those leagues, and GTA is definitely predominantly including a lot of black people. Music is such a huge part of our culture, so to have it included in video games where we aren't represented it is almost like a slap in the face because it's like we were good enough to like hype up the game, but not to be inserted into it, not to be asked about like our black experience. There are some amazing games that have really good examples of being totally centered around Afrofuturism, like Ariane Legend of Cory Odan, We Are the Caretakers, and Assassin's Creed Origins and Black Flag and Freedom Cry. They were following around Adewale, or we were following around Adewale as he continued the assassin lineage. And there are some games where Afrofuturism has kind of been seamlessly put into it, but not exactly focused on a black character, like Far Cry New Dawn with the twins. Apex Legends has Bangalore and the new character. And it was like, this whole thing was planned before the new character came out, and it just blew my mind. And as well as Lifeline. Halo had Sergeant Johnson, and when they added Mike Coulter as well, Mortal Kombat with Jax and Jackie Briggs, and Dundara, which lives in my head rent free because I've still haven't been able to beat the boss level. But that's an indie game that features a black woman pretty much trying to save the world and everything like that. So everything really depends on her. Games like these not only expose people outside of the the diaspora to our rich culture, but invite more Black people to be a proud of their heritage. And this happens when art is done with intention and care. This is the trailer for Ariane Legends of Cory Odon, which I also got the opportunity to interview, and that's up on my YouTube if you'd like to go see it.
Higi murbinam, anyeng yinje aye. Hey mur, anyeng yi hen komisi unke. Lanyen jelur yung iye, jen kena iyi.
Inyu la lèvre. Zin la betèp. Lamawas. Higi nduru. Higi mandoruna.
This game starts off with you are being, it's pretty much your wedding day, and then, you know, your village gets attacked, and then you have to fight side by side with your queen, Erin, who I love and actually had a chance to cosplay. So Afrofuturism also does not have to be a joke. It doesn't have to be something that we poke fun at or that, you know, is in jest. I actually had a chance to talk with the narrative designer of We Are the Caretakers, Zaliver Nelson, and he expressed to me his grapple and growth with the Afrofuturism genre.
Afrofuturism was a way to grapple with a lot of internalized hatred that I didn't realize I had until I was forced to confront it. Because here we are making this Afrofuturist game, and I'm finding myself, despite the incredible quality of the art, uncomfortable with it for some reason. And it wasn't until I was on a plane watching Black Panther that I realized, oh, the reason I'm deeply uncomfortable with the representations that I'm seeing is because every other time that I've seen explicitly, joyously African masks and culture and cultural influences and a harnessing of the diaspora and the artistic traditions of multiple regions, it's been as a joke. It's been a punchline in a comedy at some point. It's been some sort of thing used to make me feel less than. So in the process of working on this game and attempting to do this world justice, I had to sort of confront like this dark level of care that had been taken away from me. The ability to really invest in characters that looked like me or that bore elements of my heritage. And the result was, We Are the Caretakers that you see now. To love this world, I had to learn to love myself, and that's what Afrofuturism means. Using the elements of science fiction and fantasy and that lens to provide a window into meaningful human stories of both non-Western people and also people of color that we've been deprived of for so long. It's like being in the desert and then finding water.
It's really important to have positive examples of Afrofuturism because then more people can come in and be proud of, their heritage and their culture. W.E.B. Du Bois explains that bad Afrofuturism using the movie The Comet, where a white woman named Julia thinks her and another black man are like the sole survivors on Earth until they come encounter with another group of survivors who are like white men, including her husband. And after like coexisting with this black man and depending on him for like survival, she then turns on him and proceeds back to her old ways. So I don't want there to be examples of Afrofuturism just because like there's an outside threat or like, you know, there's extraterrestrials. So like now racism doesn't exist and we're gonna like replace the black people with aliens. Like those are not good examples, you know, movies like District 9 where the aliens or the robots are like now have like racial slurs and they live in slums and things like that. So, listening to Zalavir overcome by his bias and being able to make this game, and really be able to throw himself into it after feeling so ridiculed about it and not really having that many that like great examples. I'm sure other people are in the same boat where maybe they weren't super excited about Afrofuturism and then like Black Panther came out, or maybe, you know, a lot of people didn't know of the term and then, you know, Black Panther came out, or older people who were watching Star Trek and was like, oh no, we know about Afrofuturism because we've seen Nichelle, you know, be like one of the forefront people for that. It's just really important to have this genre done well, done with great intentions. Actually, the guy who is over Zalavir, Scott, is the person who thought of this game and understood that it was important to have Black voices and Black people working on the characters, the skin tones, and the names of all the people that are in this game. So it's everybody's job to make sure that it's done properly and there isn't like a piece of cultural appropriation, or it isn't done with like malicious intent, because we can always tell. I briefly spoke about why the gaming industry can be the main outlet for Afrofuturism, but also why it's not.
Industry is too new to not have Black people at the forefront. There's literally all of this performative actions happening and like nothing being progressive, nothing sticking. And there's no reason for that. Video games are new. Giving Black people rights is also new. Why not combine these two new things together? Comic books and video games are hella political and there's nothing you can do about it. And they're like, that's not true. Like, you'll lose a job to someone who understands why mutants should have rights, but not why Black people should have rights. It will happen. It will continue to happen. It is happening to me currently.
It needs to be a t-shirt. Mutants have rights, but I don't.
So usually what happens is people who can't wrap their head around systemic racism can easily understand that mutants in the Marvel Universe are treated badly and should have protective rights. Afrofuturism will replace mutants with Black people directly, not as a stand-in race or as a group of people, and force viewers and readers to engage with us and see us as real people in complicated situations. However, the truth of the matter is, nothing we ever do or say is going to make people view us as real beings if that's not something that they want to do. And also Afrofuturism isn't about like trauma. It's not about like us overcoming colonization over and over again, which is what a lot of the sci-fi genre is, colonization for someone else and then putting someone else as like a minority group. So how to implement Afrofuturism without using blackface or Black trauma or making another race of Black people is going to be a great start. There's really no need to keep those things. A story can just be a story, but also not doing digital blackface, meaning creating a character and then just slapping a color skin on them that is darker because you think it would, you know, draw in an audience and things like that. It's actually giving them a background, a story that is well thought out. I feel like one of my examples go back to a while back when I was still like playing Overwatch and things like that. Ashe was a pretty new character, and she had came out. She's like a cowgirl, and I was just hoping, because you know her name was actually Ashe with the accent over it. So I was like, Ashe, I'm into it. And I was just really hoping that she would just be like this Black girl and just be, you know, popping and super cute. But you know, I feel like it was either maybe a older character design or a fan design that did have her as Black, and I think that's maybe what got my hopes up. And then to find out that, you know, we got like another white character instead of like an unambiguous Black character for Overwatch is really kind of what like sunk it for me. And it would have just been nice for them to create a hero. And I know there is that little girl who created the robot, but she's not a playable character. So it's important to have Black characters that are well thought out and that don't just have the skin tone to like draw us in or like, take our money. So we are getting closer to devs understanding the importance of including authentic Black characters in their projects, but we're not super there yet. Like we see it happening. We see like bits and pieces of ourselves, but to have stories that are centered around us that aren't traumatic or that like our bad stories, we're allowed to have bad stories. Everybody has bad stories. We love bad movies. I was gonna say a movie, but I don't want to get cussed out as somebody being like, that's my favorite movie. It's not a bad movie. But we are super, super close. And this is pretty much a call to just tip us right over the edge and just have like our Afrofuturism coming out genre and like period pieces of just a whole bunch of Black people in sci-fi, and not only like our culture or not only our struggle, but like taking all of us and including it in sci-fi. So live long and prosper. Thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. You've been amazing. I've been Janae. And until next time, game safely. Also, you can find me anywhere if you just Google my name or, Twitter, Janae Benet, and things like that. Okay, bye.